Hello, everyone. This is Francis, and today we're going to talk about something that many people want to know how to transcend. And we're going to talk about fear, because many of you have probably went through what we call the terror barrier. And we want to know exactly what that is and how we can push through it, because you have a lot of goals, and your goals, I would assume now that you've established that this is a big goal, this is something that you don't know how to achieve and you've never done it. Well, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to go through fear because you don't have enough information, you haven't done it, you have no evidence. And so what we're going to understand today is what's really happening, the 4 psychological steps in you growing and achieving your goals. So let's start right away by understanding that there's 4 stages, like I said, and I'm just going to name them and go one by one to make sure that we really fully understand, because here's the key thing. Once we understand something, it's a lot easier to go through it. A lot of the people are in the ignorance phase, and that creates a lot of anxiety, that creates a lot of fear, and that's not good. And they suppress it, they suppress the anxiety, and it turns into depression, because your soul, your creative power wants to expand. And that's what's happening when you actually have this understanding. You're going to be able to be in that beautiful vibration of well-being. You're going to express it. And we're going to go through that a little bit further down the road. So now the 4 stages are very simple: the bondage, reason, terror barrier, and then finally, because that's what you want to have your freedom. You want to be free. You want to be able to accomplish your dreams. So the first step of bondage is essentially where you're at right now. You're in a position where, you're not too satisfied with what you've done, but you've been living in that body and in that mindset for a while. So that's what we say, that you have an X type of thinking. Remember the stick person? We're going back to the lesson number 4. So lesson number 4 was talking about the stick person, and you have 2 types of mind in a way. You have your mind, but you have the conscious mind that's at the level, superior level that you see in the picture. And then you have the subconscious mind. And where is everything being, how can I say, where's everything being created and that engenders the results? That's in the subconscious mind. 95% of everything that you do is in your subconscious mind. So if you've been thinking on the conscious level, X type thought, then you also have some sort of a vibration in your subconscious mind. And that's what X type conditioning, which produces X type results. So you're in bondage. It's like the thermostat. You might go above the temperature set, and then you fall back to that set temperature. It's your paradigms. It's the accumulation of all your beliefs, and that creates all your behaviors, and that creates all your outcomes. So if you really want to grow and you want to go to your C-type goal, you're going to have to leave bondage and eventually go into a better territory, which we call reason. So in the reasons stage, what's really happening is now you have this great idea. You're thinking about your goal, and it's exciting, and you can think of, consciously speaking, you can think of what it could represent to you, but you're not really too much emotionally attached to it. You're really thinking on the conscious level. And so guess what? If you're only thinking on the conscious level, and you're not impressing the idea in your subconscious, and if you're not emotionally involved with it, you're not going to do whatever it takes. You're just going to be more interested about the idea. But what we want you to be is being committed. You're going to do whatever it takes. And it takes a lot of beautiful emotions. You have to set your intention with high emotions and an emotion charge that will impress all of these beautiful things inside your subconscious mind and change eventually your paradigm. But if you're just reasoning, you're not going to go that far. You're just going to have this idea, and that will be it. That will be just a nice thing to have. So, but here's the thing. So as soon as you start to impress this idea inside your subconscious mind and you start to act on it, you're going to face a terror barrier. And that's absolutely normal, which is so cool to know, because now next time that you face this terror barrier, you're just going to understand it, that it's normal. It's absolutely normal, because what's happening is that now that you have a different idea, your why idea, your excitement, you're going to start to impress it into your subconscious mind. And when you do that, your body has been conditioned with the X type idea for a while. You have this X type conditioning, and now you're merging it with a Y conditioning. And that creates so many havocs because, you know, there's some sort of a conflict inside you. You want to go into a new territory, but yet you've lived in that zone for a long time. So what are you going to do, right? So you're thinking about, no, I can't, I really want to go to a different level, but I'm scared. And so I can either go back or I go forward, but I know that I can't stay where I'm at. So this is really not easy, and this is not a good feeling, and it's absolutely normal. That's the thing. Fear is absolutely normal. So you have two choices, right? You can either just say, well, you know what? I'm too scared and I'm thinking about what I'm going to lose instead of thinking about what you're going to gain, and you're going to go back where? To bondage. And you and I know that bondage is not serving you. It's absolutely like it's either you grow or you disintegrate, or you stay at the same level. So if you really want to have your goal to be accomplished, if that really matters to you, if you have so much conviction, and if you have these beautiful emotions that are starting to be imprinted into your subconscious mind, you and I know that we need to cross this barrier, the terror barrier. And what's on the other side? You're going to have freedom. That's the key. You're going to have freedom. And here's the thing about freedom. Now that you've established a new conditioning, that why conditioning, and you've set your thermostat to a higher level, it's also very important to understand that life is about growing. The purpose of life is about growing. So your why conditioning is gonna become a new bondage. And what's gonna happen? You're gonna maybe have a Z type of thought that you're gonna start to reason about it and then impress it even further, and you're gonna hit that terror barrier again. And that's absolutely normal. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna go through the terror barrier and be on the freedom zone again. This is why it's so important to know and understand it. That's by doing that, now you know that you can accomplish everything. Most of the people, they have their goals, and when fear shows up, they stop because they think more about what they're going to lose versus what they're going to gain. And that's the unknown. But you and I know also that we can create certainty. And how do we create certainty? Facing the biggest obstacle of all, which is really fear. Fear is the biggest obstacle. Well, we can think about failures a different way. You know, one of the beautiful quote that I love is the precept of success, and it's part of the book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. And he say, failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. You can repeat that on a daily basis. That failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough. Do you have enough reasons as to why you want to accomplish your goal? Is it something that will dramatically change your life, and so that it can have a beautiful impact on you, on the people around you, on the community, in the world? You know, what type of contribution do you want to make to this beautiful life, to the universe? Why are you here? And so once we know that, you know, failure is absolutely normal. And by the way, like Bob would say, Bob Proctor, he's never learned anything from winnings. He's learned a lot from the failure. And as soon as you know that this is a lesson and that you can move forward so that you can eventually go to freedom, this is a beautiful game. This is a wonderful game of life. And so I hope that by you understanding the 4 psychological phases and steps that's going on when you're really growing into quantum leaps, and your C-type goal, the one that you have absolutely no idea how to do it and that you've never done it before, that by understanding these steps, you're going to actually you're going to be able to be in freedom, and you're going to be able to accomplish your goal, and you're never going to be stopped by any current circumstances or the fear. How's that? That's exciting. So next time you have fear, just go through it. You go through the terror barrier and you're going to get freedom.